People are selling their rental portfolios left and right, but let's look into why is that. Now, this doesn't mean you can't buy real estate. It's just that some places real estate is taking a harder hit than others. Always remember, real estate is local. These are a list of the top 10 cities you can invest in right now and have a strong, sound investment. Okay, I'm sure you've seen the headlines. About 1.2 million Americans lost their job about a month or two ago. Unemployment's at 4.1%. Could be more by the time this video comes out. Also, we all know the economy is not doing that well, meaning things are high, but people just don't have the money to get things that they need. For example, housing, groceries, and everything else. And now that we're in trade wars and tariff things going at it, this tariff talk, it doesn't look like it's gonna be fixed by May or June at this particular point. But that doesn't mean don't buy real estate. You just want to be careful where you buy real estate. I know guys who went out there to the Midwest to buy properties out there in these Midwest towns because the Midwest has places whereas you can get a nice property for anywhere between 50 to 100,000 in a lower middle class neighborhood, and when I say that, you get it that low, you fix it up, and then it might be worth 120, 130, and it's a nice little middle class area. The Midwest has places that are full of that, right? So I know guys that went out there, but now it's hard for them to get rent. Why is it hard for them to get rent? It's because of the job loss, all right? Some places, the job loss hit harder than others, okay? So people can't pay rent. Now you have to go forward with evictions. Now, as far as the Midwest, I don't know how hard it is to evict somebody or etc. But what people are choosing to do is saying, hey, listen, I'll sell my portfolio to somebody who can stomach this, all right? I'll discount this real estate and sell it and get out and put my money into other things. And the reason for this, right, is because of those economies got hit harder than others. Now, I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina. Is it a buyer's market? Yes. Are properties taking longer to sell? Yes. Have there been some job loss? Probably so. However, overall, the economy remains strong. Is it the strongest it's ever been? No, but it's not weak, all right? Charlotte, for those who don't know, it's the number 3 biggest banking city in the country. That's the main industry we rely on and thrive off that. A lot of banks are headquartered here. And with IT having computer information, having a big growth spur right now, a lot of these IT jobs for the banks that people work at are, 6-figure gigs, or starting out paying 80, 60, 70, 90, $100,000, which is good money for people, right? So Charlotte, I have not experienced any abnormal activity with, I had multiple tenants who can't pay rent, multiple tenants who are dealing with job loss. I just haven't dealt with that here. And if you're in one of these top 10 places to invest in or near it, or you just in a place that has a strong economy, you're not gonna feel it either. However, if you're in a place that, we took a hit with job losses, and about the 1.2 million job loss, 5% of those people live throughout the town, the area you invest in. Well, that's 55, 60,000 people that's affected, and if you got 10 doors and 4 of those doors work for those companies, now you see where I'm going? And you have to understand, just because real estate is cheap doesn't mean you should buy it. You have to know that local economy. You have to know what's the main job industry here. okay? Don't just, oh, I'm gonna just go out here, buy a property and rent it out, because you'll be in a situation whereas the economy takes a turn and things never go right forever. You have to liquidate instead of holding out and waiting for things to get good. I tell all my friends who ask me, buying cheap real estate doesn't necessarily mean it's a good investment or they have a strong economy. Always remember, when you are buying real estate, even if it's your hometown, look at the job market, look at the median price. What's the median income? You know, these things factor into your investment, believe it or not. Now, of course, if you live in, Charlotte, Raleigh, Durham, Richmond, Nashville, Salt Lake City, of course, you don't even have to look at the data. You just know that, well, this city's a strong economy, so I'm good. If you live in North Jersey, all right, well, this is a pretty strong economy, or New York City is just unaffordable. So, but you get what I'm saying. If you live in a place whereas there's a strong economy, like I grew up in North Jersey, and me growing up in North Jersey, it's typical for people to drive 30, 45 minutes, some even an hour or more to work, all right? But it's so spread out with the jobs and situations, it's so spread out, so that's what people do. But those jobs and everything keep North Jersey expensive. The people who live in New York that commute to South Jersey, which I wouldn't do, which is probably like a 2-hour drive there and 2 hours back. I wouldn't do it, but the people who do that, more power to you. But we know New York City is always going to be New York City, all right? But when you buy in these Midwest cities, and they're relying on factory work and everything else, and, layoffs happen, yeah, man, you are going to get hit. So I understand if you're in a situation where you got to just sell off your portfolio to get out of it. But I will say this, going forward, we always remember real estate is local. Look into the local economy. How strong is it? And this is what one of my mentors taught me when I was newer in Charlotte, North Carolina. And the reason why he would invest in Charlotte, North Carolina was because of the jobs and the job growth. All right. Now, this is a little trick for you, all right? Subscribe to the Business Journal, all right? So, for example, you don't have to get the National Business Journal, right? I got the Charlotte Business Journal, all right? I just need to know Charlotte area stuff, right? So there is a town that probably 45 minutes away from Charlotte. They just announced that they were getting a big Macy's warehouse out there in that way. So it would be smart to grab rentals out that way, right? You know what I'm saying? When you want to know that jobs are being added to an economy, all right? You don't when jobs are not being added, but they are relocating to the Southeast or other places, that's a sign man, I don't know if it's going to be a good long-term investment. Maybe I can get this deal in this Midwest and flip it, but long-term, this might not be it. So just keep that in mind. In the meantime, listen, for those who want to maximize their income off of a single family house, which I am doing now, check out this video next to me, okay? And guys, listen, I'm Nasser, AKA the real estate guru. I'm not a guru, I'm a doer because I actually do this business. Peace.